What up, guys? It is week 12 and it is the last week of October. I know it's kind of crazy that it's gone so quickly, or maybe not quickly in your estimation. Just depends on how you're looking at things. But this is kind of an interesting week because at the end of this week you have Halloween and then you have daylight saving time. And yes, I did say saving because there's not an S there. I know it's weird, right? But we'll take a look at on Friday some interesting things about daylight saving time and, of course, Halloween. Because although it probably will not be the same as you would normally do for Halloween, dressing up and going out and trick-or-treating. And of course, none of you trick-or-treat, but you take your brothers or sisters, and you might have gotten some candy along the way. But we'll be talking about some interesting things this week. We're going to be obviously dealing with the end of World War II and some of the caveats to go into the Cold War era. So really a fascinating time. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about this. So for this week, we're going to be talking about the impact of D-Day on the European theater and discuss various ways that World War II impacted America. And your assignment for this one is a little different. Actually, that's not the assignment for this one. This is for this one, we're just going to be talking about, hold on. Well, we'll get it. We'll get it in just a second. There we go. We're going to be talking about the World War II Museum and the memorial, and then you're going to list 5 interesting things you learned about for that particular topic. And this is a lot of times people don't realize that the World War II Museum is actually in Louisiana. So I'm going to open this up, but it's in New Orleans and kind of an interesting thing there. Also, the World War II Memorial. This is a website that's talking about the National Park Service. So if you've ever visited in Washington, D.C., it's an amazing memorial. So just learn something a little bit different about it. Now, you will actually start your project this week. And I wanted to bring it up because I think it's an important one, that you're going to be using s'more. Now, you used s'more last week with one of your assignments, but you're going to be dealing with s'more with new technology for World War II and the Cold War, right? So war has definitely always driven the desire for new technology. So you're going to choose 3, yes, 3 inventions or technological advances from the list below, or you actually can use the websites here. You need to focus on specifically 1934 time period to the 1960s, right? That's kind of our time period of new inventions of this time period. So you're going to be doing a s'more, and you need to be talking about why there was a need for these inventions, how these inventions were created, and at least 3 sections are required with a minimum of 250 words, right? So that's 750 words, but don't stress about that. Just focus on actually learning about the invention. So you need to have 3 pictures for each invention, so 9 pictures total, 3 videos total, 1 for each invention, as well as 2 references, not including Wikipedia. We don't use those as an invention, or I'm sorry, as a quality source. Okay, so you need to also talk about how this invention has impacted America, all right, in your personal world today, because a lot of these have. So again, part of this assignment, you shouldn't really just do the actual invention, but consider how this invention really shaped American life. So some of the inventions are very broad in the scope of those, while others are very, very narrow. All right, so just branch out a little bit. The whole idea of this particular project is not to be so caught up and consumed with, am I doing all the specific things about it? More of the big picture idea of how did these inventions change our world? It's pretty cool that we get M&Ms. Yes, M&Ms are from this time period, right? And then you need to make sure just to remember a reminder that every time you make a change, it needs to be clicked, and you need to click the embed link. All right, so if you have to go back to learn how to do that, go back and look at your other assignment about how to do that. So there's some really cool inventions. I mean, cat litter, Really? Yeah, cat litter was invented during this time, and for a unique idea, right? So there's quite a few unique inventions and technological advances during this time. So look them up, and if you see something else that's during this time period, yeah, absolutely. So just a reminder, there is a rubric here, so make sure you look at the rubric and check it out. But I hope you have fun with this. This is really the whole idea of this one. All right, so you got a couple of weeks to complete this, so it's not going to be due this week. You got several weeks to look at this and figure this out. Now, Tuesday, you're going to be talking about the atomic bomb. Now, this is a very big part of that process and why these bombs. Big deal, right? So part of that assignment is to open these websites, and the decision to drop the bomb, was it necessary, and consider whether you feel the atomic bomb should have been used in Japan and the reasons for why or why not. All right, there's some big reasons. We'll talk about them more in class as well. But you need to type out a response, or you can video yourself, no more than 3 minutes, please, about why you feel a certain way. All right, remember, consider the time period, consider the surrounding issues that are discussed. All right, it's not just a we should have or we should not have, and because it was right or wrong. There's some very in-depth discussion that needs to be dealt with. The same type of considerations we deal with today: health, economics, safety, foreign relations. There are some big deals. Now, by the way, we did actually have a bomb dropped in Goldsboro, actually near here. Um, yeah, we did, and I've given you some links to that. So check those out. Talk about them, and yeah, it's pretty crazy that we actually had that. All right, so on Wednesday we're going to be dealing more with the Cold War aspect, because once the development of the atomic bomb was put out, this is a big deal, because we have a secret project. By the way, Truman never knew that the bomb was being developed. So this is a big deal. And when he's got in office, he was like, hey, by the way, there's this Manhattan Project that, has developed this nuclear energy thing that goes and blows up things. And he was like, oh, really? And we had to figure this out. Now, this is actually during the time last semester, when my students from American History 2, we were in the process of, yes, starting the first part of being kicked out of school because we were starting at home. So I did a lot of videos at home talking about the Cold War. So what I did was pretty much what you saw at the beginning of this semester, some videos that talked about it. So I went ahead and just linked those videos for you so that you have that. Now, even though we still will be talking about it in class, I still did it. Now, just remember that these were from last year, and so I've referenced some stuff about last semester, so it's still pertinent, but just to kind of give you a heads up about that. All right, so these are Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to be talking about the creation of the Berlin Wall. Don't say France, right? The video that we watched the other day. But you're going to lessons with Dr. T, Cold War #2, and then you have a key terms quiz that you'll be doing as well. And then on Friday, this is where we start with Halloween and daylight savings time, and of course complete the week #12 blog. I gave you some fun little videos. Those of you that can't handle actual horror films, there's just 25 Halloween movies, it's kind of a fun one. And then the Halloween document. So, and of course, since technically November 1st is your end of daylight savings time, saving time, I put some stuff on. Should we actually have it? And matter of fact, there's been some interesting discussions literally in the past couple of weeks that talk about getting rid of daylight saving time, and I really think it will happen. Now, I lived in Arizona for 12 years, and we did not celebrate, if you can call it that, daylight saving time. We didn't spring forward or move back, and I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant. But the thing about it was, half the year I was on Mountain Time, half the year I was on Pacific Time, so I got confused more so than I usually typically do. But I also got a crash course, the Cold War, for you to do as well. So should be a fun week, and we'll be starting some interesting things. The following week, we'll have a test, and then we'll actually start into the 60s and 70s, technically 50s, 60s, 70s, dealing with counterculture, dealing with the civil rights era, dealing with some pretty amazing, fun stuff that really do impact us today. And I think you'll find that the next few weeks really go by a lot quicker than you might think. So especially with Thanksgiving in the mix, and then we have really our start of our first week, second week of December is our exam. So yeah, we're going quickly. So you'll find it goes by very quickly. So I will see you guys later. Love y'all and see you in class. Bye.